All right, folks, one more video looking at how to do a simulation for your crane design. So once that mesh algorithm finishes running, you should see something looking like this, and there's kind of a weird grid over the entirety of your crane design. And these are all the points that the computer's calculated where it needs to figure out the forces acting on the materials in this design. And so you'll see there's a lot of fine points here where we got small details, and it's a lot coarser here where the parts are bigger and more uniform. Um, so once that's successfully finished running, we're ready to actually run our simulation. And so you'll see under here it says simulation runs. Click that, call it run, call it something, hit start. And again, this is going to be another process that takes anywhere for a couple minutes for something simple like this to hours, days, weeks for something that's professionally scaled. So what I'm going to do, since that is running here, I'm going to pull up another version where I've actually completed the simulation for this design. And so once your simulation is completed after a couple minutes, um, the simulation box here, you'll see run one under your simulations. You can post process results, and that'll take the numbers calculated by the computer and actually pull up some tools that'll help you visualize those results. And so we're looking to set up something like that. To do that, if you click results, a box will pop up here, and there'll be a lot of different things that this software can calculate. What we're looking for is something called the von Mises stress. And so if you click that, that'll take your plane model and add some color on that. And what this von Mises stress is a calculation of where your material is most likely to become disfigured or break apart due to stress or strain. And so we could see that, real visibly here on our design. Um, if it doesn't look super apparent where those weak points are, you can click the little drop down box next to results, click that von Mises stress, and you can actually, change how it divvies up this data. I would recommend under range mode. It will do automatic ranging. I do manual ranging and reduce the max value, and that'll help you visualize stuff. You can kind of adjust the min values too, so that you can get a better visualization of where the weak points of your design is. And so right here, it's pretty easy to see the major weak points of this design are where the um, crane rests on the tower, and that's something I might want to go in and redesign uh, if I wanted to build a stronger crane. You also might be interested in the displacement. So it's a DIS over here. You hit the little globe to visualize it. And what that'll show as that force is applied, let me go back up to results. And as we scale that, because it might not be super visible at first, but we can see how those weak points will tend to bend and displace as we add that weight. And so we can see, there's a lot of bending and stretching here. Now, obviously, if I'm building this out of popsicle sticks, those popsicle sticks are going to snap well before, they reach this amount of, uh, stress. Um, but it can be helpful to kind of visualize what that deformation might look like, and you can increase that displacement, get all kinds of crazy stuff. But again, that should show you kind of how things are moving as we are designing this. And so, how do I use this information? Obviously, I can figure out where these weak points are. I can also figure out like where the strong points are. Like if I look at this part, the right side of the crane where the weight's being hung, like these trusses up here are you know, barely doing anything. Like you see they're, super dark blue, which is the same as the base. They're not under a lot of stress or strain. Uh, maybe they're not being super effective in terms of distributing the weight. So maybe I want to move some materials from this side of this crane, over to the back side of the crane to see if, I can reinforce that area and create a less stressed design. But those are the two things that are probably going to be the most helpful in visualizing um, what's going on with your crane design, and the things that are you're going to make it easiest to compare if you've got two, three, four crane designs, which one might be the best design that you got. In terms of what I would like you guys to turn in, if you'll go back to the dashboard, you should be able to open your project, you'll come to a project page like this, and you can actually share this project with me since all of SimScale's projects are public unless you pay for it by just copying and pasting that URL. You can also, to get a shared link, click the share button. This is public. Yeah, you can share it with specific people, but it should be public since you have a free version. Um, but yeah, to turn that in, just grab that URL at the top. It's a little bit different than how it works in Onshape, and turn that in, and I'll be able to access your project.